Streaming on clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6 at 10.
He has a big knife.
He had a big
Yes,
knife?
he's got a knife.
Where's the
Where I don't know.
Right now on News 6, police say that man used a toolbox to take down a guy who was choking a boy at a bus stop. New details on how it unfolded and how that 13-year-old is doing.
He cried about it, you know, he should have done something better. He blames himself. He can't do that.
His son is crying for a woman he tried desperately to save, and he has wounds to show it. Stabbed 10 times, then pushed down a stairwell. How he's recovering physically and emotionally tonight.
We don't know if their information has been used unlawfully or not, but we want to make them aware.
An alert for hundreds of local voters why that election supervisor fears their personal information is at risk, thanks to a man paid to collect signatures.
But we start now at 10 tonight with just a devastating mix-up. A woman says she gave birth to someone else's baby, and she blames a fertility clinic in Longwood. Good evening, I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. She has now bonded with an infant she carried for 9 months that's not biologically hers. A little girl she's still willing to give up if her real parents can be found.
News 6's Troy Campbell breaks down their lawsuit and their other key question. Did someone else give birth to their baby?
This is the facility in Longwood where the lawsuit says the couple received their IVF treatment back in March. However, they say just weeks after the birth in December, they became suspicious that the child might not genetically be theirs. In this lawsuit, filed against the IVF Life Fertility Center in Orlando and its chief medical director, a couple claims they unexpectedly gave birth to someone else's baby. The lawsuit claims the woman, identified as Jane Doe, was able to produce 3 viable embryos while undergoing treatment at the facility. It goes on to say last March, it was their understanding one of those embryos was successfully implanted when she became pregnant. After carrying the baby for 9 months, the lawsuit says the woman gave birth to a healthy baby girl named Shea on December 11th. However, that's when things took a turn. The couple says immediately following her birth, they were alerted to Shea's physical appearance. The lawsuit says it appeared the woman gave birth to a non-Caucasian child when both were white. It goes on to say tests showed baby Shea is not genetically related to the couple. In a letter to the IVF facility, the couple's attorney wrote the woman closely bonded with Shea, both before and since her birth. We reached out to the law firm who filed the lawsuit, and they released a statement saying, the heartbreaking and unexplained in vitro fertilization errors described in our recently filed lawsuit remain unsolved. While our clients continue to fall more deeply in love with a beautiful little girl who is someone else's child, they're also living with the unbearable knowledge that there may be one or more of their own children unknowingly in the care of strangers. The lawsuit says the family wants the child reunited with her biological parents if possible, and they want to know if someone else was given one of their embryos. We showed up to the fertility center in Longwood on Wednesday, but the doors were locked and no one answered. We also contacted the Fertility Center of Orlando, asking them how this could happen and how they plan to address this lawsuit, and we've yet to hear back. In Longwood, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Voters in Seminole County, check your mailbox. You might have a letter warning your personal identity info could have been used without permission by a man who was paid to collect signatures for petitions. News 6's Ashley Garrett went straight to the county's supervisor of elections to get answers.
Voters in Seminole County are being made aware that their personal ID info was exposed unknowingly by a man who used personal ID information for petition signatures. Well, that person was paid to collect signatures for a petition by Smart and Safe Florida, a group that supports making recreational marijuana use legal. The name of the paid petition circulator is not being released, but according to the supervisor of elections office, Smart and Safe Florida has let that person go. Now, he collected 378 signatures in Seminole County and reportedly used some names obtained illegally to fake signatures to help get a pro-recreational pot amendment on the ballot. It failed in 2024, but there's more to the story. While getting ready for an upcoming audit, the elections office in Seminole County found the same person collected signatures for a proposed pro-pot amendment Smart and Safe Florida wants to put on this November's ballot.
We don't know if their information has been used unlawfully or not, but we want to make them aware so that they can watch their credit reports, their bank accounts, their credit card statements. Anything that might have an implication on their personal life that would use your personal identifying information, we want them to be aware so that they can watch and make sure that they don't have anything happen.
And here's what the letter looks like that voters impacted received. Part of it reads, at this time, there is no indication that your voter record has been altered, that your signature was forged, or petition fraud occurred. However, because the circulator is alleged to have misused personal information for purposes unrelated to the petition process, we believe it is important to notify affected voters so they may take any action they feel is appropriate. In Seminole County, I'm Ashley Garrett, News 6.
Well, stabbed 10 times during a horrific attack. Tonight, we're hearing from a father of a man attacked while trying to save a mental health counselor. She was killed by a former patient Monday night. The wounded man's dad told News 6's Alex Cook his son did everything he could to help.
Went to go call the cops, and the guy yelled at him, drop that phone, you know. And when he didn't, that's when the cutting. He got stabbed. 10 times. Wow.
Aaron visited his son in the hospital Wednesday and says he should be getting out soon. His son told him about the moment Michael Smith, a registered sex offender with a history of violence, forced his way into the office and attacked. Aaron's son saw his counselor was in danger and jumped in to help.
He grabbed the guy, pulled him off, and threw him to the ground. And then the bad part of it was that he fell down himself. He threw himself and the guy to the ground. And he came up stabbing away, leg, arms.
Aaron says his son tried to get himself and White out of the building, but Smith wasn't done.
Was stopped by the guy as they were going out the door. He stabbed and then threw my son down the stairwell.
While Aaron's son was bleeding at the bottom of the stairs, Smith committed what the Orange County Sheriff's Office calls a tragic murder, stabbing White, who died on the way to the hospital. Aaron says his son is now struggling with guilt for surviving.
He thinks if he had turned around and ran back up the stairs, he's feeling bad because he feels that if he went back in, he might be able to do something to save Becca. He cried about it, you know, he should have done something better. He blames himself. He says, you can't do that.
Aaron's family set up a GoFundMe to help with his son's hospital bills as he recovers. You can find the link on clickorlando.com. In Orlando, Alex Cook, News 6.
New video shows DeLand police rushing to help a 13-year-old boy and the man who saved him. Investigators say this man suddenly choked the teen while the boy was waiting at a school bus stop yesterday morning. He was supposed to go before a judge today, but did not cooperate. Your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed spoke with the boy's family.
Very thankful for the guy that was able to help him out before we were able to get out there.
Bernice Fertil says her 13-year-old brother was waiting for a school bus Tuesday morning on Spring Garden Avenue when he was randomly attacked by a homeless man, later identified as 36-year-old Schwabel.
I see this guy walking down the street.
This guy right here?
Yeah, walking down the sidewalk, and then he approaches me and starts saying some stuff that I didn't understand, and he grabbed me and pulled his knife out.
The Land Police body camera video shows the boy recounting the terrifying moment.
He tried hitting me, punching me a bunch.
Police say this video also shows the Good Samaritan who rushed to help. The man telling officers he saw Schwabel attacking the teen quickly made a U-turn, pulled over, and jumped out to help. The teen ran away to safety, but Schwabel pulled the knife out on the man, too.
He has a big knife.
He had a big
Yes,
knife?
he's got a knife.
Where's the
where? I don't know.
The man telling officers he hit Schwabel with his toolbox and held him until they got there.
I'll let you guys hit from here. Don't move, man.
Got it? Which pocket is the knife in?
It's in my right pocket.
Fertil says her little brother thankfully was not hurt, but he won't be riding the bus anytime soon.
He's feeling a little better, probably a little bit paranoid, because it was unprovoked.
Now, Schwabel had only been out of jail here for a week before this attack. He was being held here until last week on charges for exposing himself and having drug paraphernalia, but prosecutors in that case decided to drop those charges. The judge will try again here on Thursday for the first appearance on the charges from the attack. I'm your Volusia County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Well, it is the question almost everyone in Altamont Springs has asked at some point.
Will the so-called I-4 eyesore ever get finished?
I hope so. But then our joke would be gone. What else would Altamont Springs be famous for?
A few months ago, we heard someone say they wanted to move into the Majesty building. So what happened? We're digging for answers.
And an incredible rescue, a senior saved thanks to a drone. Next at 10, how local police used that drone to find a man missing in chilly morning weather. Jonathan.
If you're not a fan of the cold, you're going to love this map. Again, we are warming things up about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than where we were this time last night. More warmth on the way heading into your weekend. We're going to pinpoint all that for you coming up at about 10:19.
This California man is now in a Central Florida jail, accused of sending sexually explicit messages to a child he met on Roblox. I'm News 6 investigator Erica Bergoglio. There's a unit here at the Flagler County Sheriff's Office that's not only catching online predators, but stopping them before they even contact a child. I'll tell you how they're doing this and the biggest dangers they're seeing online coming up.
You're watching News 6 at 10 on a Wednesday night. We're covering Melbourne Beach, Metro West, and all of Central Florida. This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers. Now on News 6, when you think about online predators, you might picture places where someone can message your child.
Yeah, but what if we told you they're now using music playlists to try to reach them? News 6 investigator Erica Bergoglio spoke with detectives about the biggest threats they're seeing online and what you need to know to protect your kids.
This California man is now in a Flagler County jail, accused of sending sexually explicit messages to a child he met on Roblox. The case recently cited by the state of Florida in a lawsuit against Roblox, accusing the company of not doing enough to protect kids online.
The predators are not on the playground anymore. They are in our houses with our kids.
Detective Lauren Broomfield with the Flagler County Sheriff's Office investigated this case.
The meat and the potatoes of the case didn't happen on Roblox. It just generated. That's where it generates. So once they get them to a comfortable standpoint, they can move to Hey, give me your phone number, give me your email address.
A textbook move, but criminals are changing the playbook, targeting kids on YouTube and even Spotify.
They were luring mentally ill teenage girls to them through a depressed teens Spotify playlist.
Wow.
So they posted that playlist, they got people to like it. Whatever they can do to pull kids in, they'll do it.
Detective Joe O'Barr is with the International Crimes Against Children Task Force in the Flagler County Sheriff's Office. The unit investigates cyber tips from internet service providers and social media platforms.
Just step right up here in the front of the car.
The unit received more than 580 cyber tips last year, one of them leading to the arrest of this man, a registered sex offender. 75 of those tips are now being pursued at the state or federal level.
Lately, we've been getting a larger influx from Instagram and Meta programs as well as Roblox. We try to utilize some of the things that we know and some of the places we know that predators like to go. So we try to go there as well.
And parents, there's also things you can do at home.
If your kids are on any type of social media, look into the parental controls. I have a Roblox account. My kids' accounts are linked to it. I can see every keystroke, essentially, that they do.
In this Flagler County Roblox case, the child told her parents about the messages and how they made her feel uncomfortable. They then reported it to the sheriff's office. That's why detectives stress how important it is to talk with your kids about the risks online. Erica Bergoglio, News 6.
New at 10 tonight, incredible video from Lady Lake Police showing how they used a drone to find a missing 88-year-old man.
All right, so we want to give you a closer look here. Police say officers were called after the man walked out of a home, appearing confused around 7 Tuesday morning. After they sent up the drone, they were able to spot and track down the man in about 3 minutes. Police say he was covered in blood from falling along a golf path in the Villages. He was taken to the hospital for treatment.
Well, officially, it's called the Majesty Building, but everybody, including you and me, call it lovingly the I-4 eyesore.
Yeah, lovingly. It's been decades since construction began on this skyscraper in Altamont. Last summer, there were rumors a tenant was interested, though, in moving in.
Your Seminole County community correspondent, Catherine Silver, is following up in the new year to see if there's any progress.
Just like the building, it appears whispers about the first tenant moving into the first floor of the Majesty Building have gone quiet.
Does that surprise you? It doesn't surprise me, but it would be nice if they actually finished that.
Better known as the I-4 eyesore, you can't miss the local landmark in Altamont. But a lack of progress over more than 2 decades have made the building more of a punchline than anything else.
The most economic activity is generated is an image for socks and memes.
This is from June when the city manager told us that someone had called and showed interest in possibly moving into the first floor. Since then, the city tells me it's been crickets.
I just know it's been up there for, I want to say about since my entire life I've been living here.
Construction on this building started in the early 2000s before the September 11th attacks, the rise of Facebook, the first iPhone, a financial crisis, and a global pandemic.
We're paying as we go. We have no debt.
The president of Super Channel Orlando, Claude Bowers, has invited our cameras in through the years.
This is the front door entrance into the big rotunda.
In 2018, the lights came on, but 8 years later, no one is home.
Do you think it will ever be finished?
Probably not.
One day, maybe?
I hope so. But then our joke would be gone. What else would Altamont Springs be famous for?
I called Super Channel and spoke with Claude on the phone. He tells me there's not much else to say at this point. They're still working on getting the ground floor ready. There's still a lot of work ahead. In Altamont, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
Well, you know what I'm not going to do? Hold my breath.
No. I think when it's finished, it's a sign of the apocalypse. That's
I almost don't want it to be done. All right, meteorologist Jonathan Kegas joins us now. We're not done with the cold weather yet, but it is a nice warm up today.
It is, yeah, a nice break to thaw out a little bit, but there is more cold coming, as Ginger mentioned. On the other side of the weekend, temperatures right now not doing too bad at all. We're hanging around 60 degrees in Orlando. We're at 61 in Palm Bay, Melbourne. We're checking in at 66. Just after 10 o'clock tonight, we're back to the lower 60s in the Villages. Temperatures in the beach tonight are doing pretty good as well. We're at 58 degrees. We do have a few extra clouds out there passing by. The breeze has backed off significantly as expected out of the north now at about 5 miles an hour. Temperatures tomorrow morning when you wake up into land, we're back to 54, 63 in Melbourne, Denellen, we're still at 50 degrees. So even for us northwest of I-4, certainly a much milder morning, running about 5 or so degrees above where we should be for this time of the year. And then jumping about 5 degrees above where we should be in the afternoon as well. Now, rain chances do go up a smidge. We may see a few passing sprinkles out there late tomorrow afternoon into the evening, but most of us will be on the drier side again tomorrow. I do think we will see extra clouds, but with our change in wind direction, that's going to help to pump in some of that extra warmth out of the south back to get us back into the mid to upper 70s tomorrow. Clouds and rain forecast overnight tonight. I think we're going to watch clouds go back on the increase again. A couple of showers again going to be possible for the second half of tomorrow. That's going to be 9 o'clock in the morning on your Thursday. Again, things pretty quiet, just a little on the cloudy-er side anyway. And then here we go with a few light sprinkles trying to pop back up. Nothing to write home about. Again, most of us are going to be on the drier side. If you do get lucky enough to see a quick hitting sprinkle, it's really not going to help the lawn out too much. Again, really nothing measurable out there. Rain chances super low through the start of the weekend. Then they tick up just a little bit, back to 20% for the second half of Sunday, 30% for the first half of Monday. And it's because of this next system out here. I want to show you something cool. The hurricane hunters have no off season, so a big high impact winter storms that take place across the country. We will get part of that in terms of some rain, but this big upper low hanging off the California coastline, they're running missions out of California to sample that to help the computer forecast models perform a little bit better. You see this starting to work its way here, and this is why they're out there. It's very, very high impact. And the determining factor is going to be where that snow and ice line get going over the next couple of days, really starting on Friday, sweeping across the country. Here's the cold front portion that brings the chilly air back to us on Tuesday, and then also brings some rain back to us on Monday. Again, it is going to be a shell of itself by the time it gets here, just a few scattered downpours possible. Hanging around 80 before that system gets here on Friday, 81 on Saturday, 20% shot for a couple of downpours late Sunday into early Monday. There goes the tumble back to the 30s and 40s on Tuesday. Highs on Tuesday, guys, into the upper 50s and lower 60s.
Thank you, Jonathan. Well, are you looking for an outdoor adventure? I know you are.
Always. Next at 10, we'll show you where you can find aerial courses, zip lines, and swinging bridges.
Hey day trippers, welcome to the Orlando Tree Track. If you're looking for a thrilling family adventure just minutes away from the Disney parks, the Orlando Tree Track Adventure Park is the place to be.
Bye! My name is David Lemire. I'm the operations manager here at Orlando Tree Trek. We call ourselves an adventure park, which is a series of obstacle courses set in the forest. They get progressively higher and harder as you go. We have zip lines, bridges, swing elements on all of our courses, and then you finish with our giant zip line.
The Orlando Tree Track opened in December 2014, and the team moved from Canada to Florida to make it happen.
We used to vacation in Florida every year as a family, so it's a family park, and we wanted to do it all year long.
So here's how your adventure begins.
Well, you're going to start with getting harnessed up over here, then you're going to go through a little demonstration area. You're going to learn your equipment.
Of course, these are the actual safety equipment that's going to hold you up when you're on the course. You line it straight up and down, just push it forward to attach.
You're going to get started on the first course, so it's going to be a little bit easier. It's just basic bridges that you're traversing, and then you're going to finish with a zip line.
This is only the first course.
Yeah, and they get higher.
Then you're going to start on your second course. It's going to get a little bit higher, a little bit more swinging elements out there. And again, you always finish with a zip line. And then again, we have a third and fourth course. So it's about 3 hours to do the whole park. And yeah, pretty challenging once you get to the end.
And when he says that, you better believe him, because that fourth and final track was crazy. Oh my God.
Do recommend reservations, so you can book on orlandotreetrek.com. Our first arrival time is at 8 o'clock every morning. Our website is orlandotreetrek.com. We have all these social pages, Facebook, Instagram, X, all that jazz at Orlando Tree Trek.
So are you ready to take on the trees? The Orlando Tree Trek offers a fun, family-friendly adventure for all ages.
That was awesome.
That was so much fun! Well, that's it for today, day trippers. I'll see you next time. And remember, stay local and play local. All right, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Have a good one. We'll see you at 11.
Bye.